Charles Dickens's Great Expectations follows the journey of Pip, an orphan who dreams of rising above his humble beginnings. As a child, he helps an escaped convict, Abel Magwitch, without knowing how this act will shape his future. Later, he is invited to the home of the wealthy and eccentric Miss Havisham, where he falls in love with her cold and beautiful ward, Estella. When Pip suddenly receives a fortune from a mysterious benefactor, he moves to London, believing Miss Havisham is preparing him to marry Estella. However, he eventually learns that his wealth comes from Magwitch, not Miss Havisham, forcing him to rethink his values. After losing his fortune and facing many hardships, Pip matures, realizing that true worth comes from character, not social class. Great Expectations is a coming-of-age novel that explores ambition, social class, and personal growth. Dickens critiques the rigid class system of Victorian England, showing how wealth and status do not guarantee happiness or morality. Pip's journey from innocence to experience highlights the dangers of valuing appearances over true character. The novel also explores themes of redemption, as characters like Magwitch and Miss Havisham find ways to atone for their past mistakes. Dickens blends humour, drama, and social criticism to create a rich and emotionally powerful story that remains relevant today. One of the main themes in Great Expectations is the desire to rise above one's social class. Pip is ashamed of his poor background and believes that becoming a gentleman will earn him love and respect. However, his experiences in high society teach him that wealth does not determine a person's true worth. Through Pip's journey, Dickens criticises a society that values money and status over kindness and integrity. Love, both romantic and familial, plays a major role in the novel. Pip's love for Estella is painful, as she is raised to be cruel and incapable of returning his affection. Miss Havisham, heartbroken from her own past, manipulates Estella and Pip, using them to seek revenge on men. Meanwhile, Joe Gargery, Pip's kind brother-in-law, represents unconditional love, remaining loyal despite Pip's ungrateful behaviour. Dickens shows that true love is not based on wealth or beauty, but on kindness and devotion. Several characters in the novel seek redemption for their past mistakes. Magwitch, once a feared convict, reveals his softer side by secretly supporting Pip's future. Miss Havisham realises too late the damage she has done to Estella and Pip, begging for forgiveness. Pip himself learns humility after losing his fortune and eventually seeks to repair his relationships. Dickens emphasises that redemption is possible, but it often comes with pain and regret. Pip is an idealistic and ambitious young man who undergoes significant personal growth, learning that true worth is found in character, not social status. Estella, raised to be cold and unfeeling, is both a victim and a symbol of Miss Havisham's bitterness. Miss Havisham's a tragic figure, consumed by revenge until she realises the consequences of her actions. Magwitch, initially introduced as a terrifying convict, is revealed to be kind and generous, challenging Pip's views on class and morality. Joe Gargery, Pip's humble and loving guardian, represents true goodness, standing in contrast to the shallow values of high society. Through these characters, Great Expectations explores ambition, love, and the power of redemption.